exchange of gunfire, striking several individuals. We know that our Detective Bureau has worked very, very hard over the last 18 or so hours. We've been putting out updates throughout the day, and I think everybody is aware that at this point we have 3 arrests for that very first incident. We've arrested a male 20 from Chesapeake, a male 18, and a male 20 from Virginia Beach for their involvement in that incident. So we know that our Detective Bureau has worked very, very hard to make those arrests, hold those people accountable. One of the other reasons that we were successful is because we had a Virginia Beach police officer from the 2nd Precinct right at that intersection when the gunfire occurred. So he was able to identify one of the shooters, chase that individual down, and take him into custody. So it was both successful, but I would also say it's extremely troubling, because what that says is that we had individuals in our community, while a uniformed police officer is there, that choose to engage in gunfire, completely disregarding the safety of our citizens and our residents that were out at that time. Our next incident, of course, is the tragic death of Ms. DeShayla Harris. That is still very much under investigation. There are no material updates at this point. There are no arrests at this time. We do believe that she truly is, at this point in time, an innocent victim that was probably struck by stray gunfire in some regards. And then our last incident, of course, is the police intervention shooting involving Mr. Donovan Lynch. At this point, very early in the investigation, we are still in the fact-gathering stage. As I indicated last night, representatives from the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office were present overseeing our investigation, because it is a criminal investigation at this point. Unfortunately for us, we don't have a whole lot of answers, and we would like to provide the community answers. At this point, we do not have them. What I can tell you is that I've seen some of the community concerns about Mr. Donovan being, or Mr. Lynch being unarmed. What I can tell you is that there was a firearm recovered in the vicinity of where this incident occurred. We would like to be more forthcoming, but unfortunately we do not have body cam footage of this incident. The officer was wearing a body cam, but for unknown reasons at this point in time, it was not activated. That will be part of our administrative investigation that will be subsequent to the criminal investigation. So as much as we would like to be transparent, we pride ourselves in being accountable and responsive. I do not have the answers that the community is looking for in regards to this death right now. What I can tell you is we will continue to do our due diligence to gather all the facts. We are waiting to interview the officers and any other witnesses involved, and the Commonwealth's attorney. Like I indicated, we are investigators, we're fact gatherers. They will review everything that we submit to them, and then they will make an independent decision on the propriety of the officer's actions. Questions?
Why has that officer not been arrested just as all the other officers, everybody else who shot somebody was arrested? Why has he not been arrested if it's under investigation? Why has he not been arrested just like all the other shooters from last night have been arrested? This is Black Lives Matter 757.
Mr. Jones, just like anyone else, we need probable cause to make an arrest. There are some facts and circumstances that do not rise to probable cause at this time. With that information, we would be guided by a decision from the Commonwealth's attorney, just like we do with all the arrests that we made. We would screen them with them and make sure that they are satisfied with our level of probable cause. So, any other questions?
When would he be arrested?
My question for this,
Sir.
still on the same subject. Is there an external investigation for the shooting of Donovan outside of the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office, outside of the city of Virginia Beach? I spoke with the state police around the 6th. They said they still hadn't been contacted to be part of the investigation. Will that also be considered?
We can definitely consider it. You know, right now that has not been our historical practice. You know, I think there is some benefit to an objective investigation when you when you contact an outside entity, but you know, there are also some pros and cons. When we go to an outside entity, We do worry about evidence preservation. We worry about witnesses being lost while they mobilize to respond to the beach. And we're also concerned about our ability to be immediate, accountable, and transparent. So if we do turn over that investigation to VSP, I'm not able to stand in front of my community and answer the hard questions like I've just told you today, that we don't have body cam footage, we have very little information. So, I mean, that's definitely something that we can consider and is really driven by what the expectations of the Virginia Beach community are.
So you said that there was a gun found in the vicinity of the shooting. Do you have evidence that supports that it belonged to Mr. Lynch, or if he was armed at the time he was shot?
No, at this point, no. We're still very early in the investigation. What I can tell you is that there was a gun found in that vicinity, and that is still part of the investigation where we're at.
Do you know the events leading up to that shooting, why that officer did shoot at him?
No, ma'am, we have not had an opportunity to interview the officer yet.
Do
What
you
sort of,
know if these three shootings are yet connected, and are you still looking for additional suspects?
They are definitely connected by time and geography, but they appear to be independent, separate incidents. You know, what I would tell you is that it is still an ongoing investigation in many facets, and there's still a chance that other individuals will be criminally charged as we move forward.
are body cameras often turned off in the job, during a job in a situation like this? And if not, what sort of repercussions can someone face for maybe turning it off or having it off?
Well, we don't know if it was activated, we don't know what the circumstances are. So we're still waiting to interview the officer to find out what the exact circumstances were that preceded the shooting. There is an expectation that if they know that they're going to be involved, if they're dispatched on a radio run, that they activate the body camera. We're going to figure that out when we interview the officer. Those will be some of the exact questions we ask.
Are there street cameras?
Can you
Are
say
there
where he
street
was
cameras?
shot, or how many times?
I don't have that information right now, ma'am.
You don't know
Are
how many
there
times or
street
what part of the body?
No, I don't have that information right
Are
now.
there street cameras?
Uh-uh.
Are there street cameras?
I'm not understanding the question, Mr. Jones.
Are there street cameras?
That's all part of the investigation. Like I said, they're still gathering information.
How long can the public expect to wait to hear back
So,
from the Virginia
and-
Beach law
I have one more
enforcement?
question.
Any other questions from the press?
Yes, I have one more question. How do you expect to move forward this summer with this being the first 80-degree weather we had in such violence?
You know, I think that's actually a very good question, and I think our immediacy in making arrests and holding the individuals accountable that precipitated a lot of this activity should reassure the public. You know, it's unfortunate that, you know, what we see is we see a lot of gunfire in large urban cities. This just happened to occur at the Oceanfront. Virginia Beach is incredibly safe. When you look at our numbers compared to other large cities, we are at the bottom. But we are not immune to, you know, the societal ills that afflict all cities. It just happened to occur at the Oceanfront. So we're going to be in a good place going forward. The city is safe. We've made some immediate arrests. I think the community should be very rest assured that your Virginia Beach Police Department will not rest till we hold everybody accountable. So thank you very much.